Welcome back to I Accidentally Married a Filipina. My name is Rob. People's Park in the Sky is interesting to walk around, but is really only good for about 90 minutes of tourism, and we had arrived in the morning and we were done by 9:30. We asked the driver to take us on to Sky Ranch Amusement Park. It is very clean and well manicured, and everything looks pretty new and well maintained. We arrived at 10:30 and were ready for lunch, but the restaurants did not open till 11 a.m. So I bought us some ride tickets and we rode 2 thrill rides. This turned out to be the funniest thing I've ever experienced. Sometimes I forget that people in poverty do not have the same opportunities for life experiences that I have had. Lillette had never seen the inside of an amusement park, let alone ever rode a thrill ride. And I am 100% sure she will never ride another thrill ride as long as she lives. To calm her down, we went to a restaurant named Mama Lou's. It is Italian, and I have found in my short stay that American Italian and Philippines Italian are two different things. Their marinara sauce is sweet, which threw me off. We ordered a pizza for me and, of course, lasagna for Lillette. She asked if she could splurge on the mango smoothie. Of course, I said. Enjoy your time here with me. She confided that a restaurant smoothie was out of the question for her budget, and she always wanted to order one. The lasagna and mango smoothie combination flipped her switch, and she was on cloud 9. I was glad she was in a better mood because I had been walking around all day with an engagement ring in my pocket, and I was fairly sure I wanted to ask her to marry me on this trip, but cold feet were setting in, and the gravity of this life-changing decision was weighing heavy on my heart. But the ring could stay in my pocket and nobody would be the wiser, so I just relaxed and tried to enjoy a quick walk to the merry-go-round. Lillette had been on a carousel before, and she loved it. Lillette did have one request for me. The Ferris wheel is her all-time favorite, and she wanted to ride. On the walk to the Ferris wheel, we stopped to look out over the jungle and towards Tall Volcano. As we stand there, hand in hand, we saw something magical happen, and it gave me the courage to press on.
We go to the Sky Ranch too. Finally, I can see what's inside there. First thing we do, we ride a merry-go-round, Super Vikings and Drop Tower. I feel my heart fall down, I shouting and nervous while riding the Super Vikings and Drop Tower. He told me it was a nice ride. It was a bad rides for me. We take a break and ate pizza and my favorite lasagna at Mama Lou's. After that we go around. Accidentally, we saw 2 yellow birds flying there over the mango trees. But then one bird turns to butterfly. I was so amazed and happy. I told him it's a magic. How could the bird turn into butterfly? I like butterflies, that is my dream in my wedding soon. He did not say something. We ride my favorite Ferris wheel. When we are in the top, he asked some questions. If I like him, if I love him, until his last questions, will you marry me? I almost cried in his last question. I was not expecting he will propose me in the Ferris wheel. I was shocked. I feel so happy that the long wait is over. I thought bird and butterfly is a sign of his proposal. While we are in the car until we reach at the hotel, I can't believe his is my fiancé now. My heart is full of happiness. But I am scared to tell my sister May tomorrow back in Manila. She could say no and my dream will end. After Tagaytay, we back at Manila and get some of our clothes and get back again for another trip at Makati. When we are home, my mother and sister and nephew was happy seeing us again. I think they are relieved I am still alive. We talk a little bit with my mom. She's asking about our trip. But I keep silent that I am already engaged with Rob. After we get clothes we go to Makati Dusit Thani. While we are in the car, I was also excited what it looks like inside. After an hour we reach at Dusit Thani, I was so amazed. From the security guard, the hotel boy, the ladies in the information, they are all polite, helpful, all well-mannered. I just talk in myself while walking slowly inside the hotel and observing those people who are inside the hotel. As a province girl, it's my first time having an experience the five-star hotel. I look around and said wow. Amazing hotel, I'm sure it's expensive. I can't afford staying here for one night. But Rob doesn't know that I am very quiet because I am out of place. I don't know how to act around rich people, but Rob has no trouble, so I stay in his side. The room was very nice, very comfortable, and the bathroom is as big as my room at home. They had a nice swimming pool too. What makes me so attracted to it is the very beautiful garden. Greenery garden, this is perfect for those who love nature. I enjoyed in the garden. That's perfect, especially during night when Rob take me a dinner date in the garden. Very relaxing, their lights is like a moon. Morning breakfast dine in restaurant is nice too. A lot of foods. All foods are delicious, I can choose what I want. Everything are delicious. I know I was very ignorant and innocent in this expensive five-star hotel because it is my first time. But I act professionally so people can't tell I'm ignorant. I was thinking it's a fairy tale story happen in my life now. There are a lot of businessmen, rich people in that hotel, and a lot of foreigners. While staying there for 1 week, I enjoyed myself with Rob. Rob treated me nicely with respect. I feel more in love with Rob. During afternoon, we go to the mall. Rob bring me to a fancy restaurant and it's too expensive. Rob tried me to experience those fancy things that I do not have in my younger days. I just realized if you have a good life you can get everything. What you see is you what you get. How lucky they are. But I was not born rich. When I look back my past life, street food was enough. I just remembered the story Hansel and Gretel. I think I am like that. They are hungry for foods. But I'm so happy that Rob tried his best to brought me here.
When I booked my hotel stays, I didn't want to overwhelm Lilette right away with a fancy hotel stay in Tagaytay. But the last few days before I left, I wanted to make an impression. I wanted her to know how far I was willing to go to make her feel special. Normally I wouldn't stay at the Deuce at Thani as it is $240 US per night, but because they were recovering from the lockdown, their rate was half that, and because of their reputation, I jumped on that price, and I am glad I did. Lilette loved their garden that was outside the restaurant. It was so lush and green that you could not tell you were in the city. They even had a really big koi pond with some very interesting fish there. Everything there was as if it were made for our time together. We felt so relaxed there. During the day, we would go out and explore the city as there were 3 malls nearly attached to each other within walking distance. Makati is a very westernized and advanced city right outside of Manila. It is the business center of the Philippines, and everywhere is clean and neat inside the city proper. After exploring one day, we went back for a nap and slept until dark. We were famished, so we went down to the garden, and I didn't want to be a cheap Charlie on our last night in the hotel. So I tell Lilette to order anything she wanted, and she wanted a mango smoothie. And I ordered a San Mig Pale Pilsner beer. My favorite there. We were in no real hurry to order food because we were just enjoying each other's company under the pale moonlight in the garden. I called for a waiter to come over and asked for another San Mig, and he hurried back with it. I gave him 100 pesos, that's about $2 US, and he said he would be back with my change. I told Lilette to tell him to keep it for his prompt service. He looked confused, so I asked Lilette to tell him I appreciate prompt service. He smiled really big and said thank you 3 times. From then on, our food came out fast, and my new friend kept his eye on my beer, and when it was empty, he was right there with another. And for his prompt service, I gave him a 20 peso coin each time. We were having such a great time, but the garden was closing, and I asked for a San Mig for the road and then gave him one last 100 pesos for his trouble and thanked him. He spoke to her in Tagalog and thanked me profusely. As we walked to the elevator, I asked what he said to her. She said that I had given him 700 pesos, which is about $14 US, in beer tips, which would be skimpy in the US, but that is more than he will make in two 12-hour shifts at his job. So he told her that I was American Santa Claus. Well, Christmas is about to be over, as we must tell her family of our impending nuptials at lunch tomorrow. The bell was about to toll for me in my engagement announcement, but first Lilette and I were going to meet the whole family again. This time we would meet the family at Quezon City Memorial Circle. Quezon City is on the outskirts of Manila and is the second biggest city in the Philippines. The main road leads into the city center into a giant roundabout that encompasses a 67-acre national park. It is free to walk in and it is a great place to exercise, whether it be with the free exercise machines or just a place to go jogging, as there are plenty of paved surfaces and plenty of people and things to look at. You could also bring in a picnic lunch or visit some of the food vendor kiosks, all located in a row. We chose to meet her family, and they all bought plants from a giant outdoor garden center within the circle. We then walked around the park, and I got the cultural tour from the family, including the dancing fountains. The fountains surprised me. It was like you would see in Las Vegas or Branson, only on a much smaller scale. Still, you could stand there for 30 minutes and enjoy the free entertainment. We had not went into the engagement reveal just yet, as we were going to Jollibee and I was paying. I was relieved because Jollibee is cheap. It is the Philippine versions of McDonald's, and it is super popular for being cheap. I guess this would make more sense if I step back to the zoo episode. It is not uncommon for foreigners to be asked to provide groceries, gifts, or even money when you arrive to show that you are willing and able to support their sister. Lilette's traditional family did not want groceries or money because they all work and they have deep pride in their family name, but to adhere to tradition, they did want me to take them out to eat and break bread. I would have done this anyway, so no sweat, except I made the critical mistake of thinking the zoo in the Philippines would be cheap like most other attractions, but I was wrong. Between the zoo entrance fee and the Shakey's Pizza, I was down $375 US within an hour. So you can understand how happy I was to be professing my love to them for Lilette over value meals at the Jollibee.
We met my family at Quezon Memorial Circle. Rob is amazed the Quezon City Circle. He asked what is mean by that big tower. I explained to him. The meaning of that is Quezon Memorial Shrine is dedicated to unrivaled legacy of the first President of the Commonwealth of the Philippines, Manuel L. Quezon. It is a national shrine highlighted by a 66-meter trilon monument at the heart of Quezon City's most important park. The Quezon Memorial Shrine at the center of Quezon Memorial is the most prominent landmark in the city. Steeped in the history and heritage, the park was first envisioned in 1941 to honor the legacy of President Manuel Luis Quezon. It's perfect also there to exercise like walking or jogging because of their big spacious area, and it's very cool because lots of trees and flowers. If you don't have enough budget, it's perfect to go there because no entrance fee. It's fun to have a family picnic and dates also. Lots families there during Sunday to go there, adults and teenagers. Sometimes there are some celebrities having their concert in that big stage. The fountain during night, it gives attraction to the eye of people. If you got hungry, there are a lot of vendors in the side selling foods. Pretty perfect also, those people who are plants lover, especially my sister. She likes flowers. She bought some flowers there. We decided that we are going to tell my family about our plan and we are engaged. We meet my family at Quezon City Circle. Since Rob wants to try Jollibee, we bring my family at Jollibee. Rob started to ask permission to my mom, Kuya, and the rest of my sisters. Rob tell them he's coming back after 4 months. It's month of July for our wedding. Kuya told Rob it's too fast to plan about wedding. So Rob explained it. But after all, we agreed our plan. But sad to say, my eldest sister May don't agree my plan, but I try convinced her. I understand her, that she is worried because I'm going to marry with different culture and soon I will be leaving from my family and they cannot see me only time to time. I know it's not easy decision in my life, but I have to decide in my own. But everything was fine. Everybody was happy. I enjoyed every minute while Rob was here. Soon he will be living in Philippines. Every night having dinner at the garden, I feel so happy. I was thinking it's a magic, before I could only dream looking this fancy hotel in the internet on news and magazines. I can't believe I'm here now. The night before Rob is leaving, we talked about our plan seriously. I have to wait him until July. We woke up too early to get ready his flight going back to America. This time we are back to long distance relationship again and I'm scared he will go back to America and never come back. It happened many Filipina from my province. Men come in and ruin Filipina reputation and then never talk again.